This summer, I had the pleasure of meeting Brian Conley of Hunter's HD Gold at two events, the Lucas Outdoor PCC match and the World Rimfire Championships, where this interview was recorded. We talked about the glasses for shooting, driving, and other benefits around mood and brain chemistry. Check it out.
Hey everybody, it's Mark with Hawkeye Ordnance, and we're going to talk about a handful of things over the next few weeks or months or whatever that aren't the sexiest thing. It's not the guns, it's not the ammo, it's not all the toys. It's eyes and ear pro, right? Cool. Which we all use it all the time, and it's like the last thing we spend our money on. You know, we want the $2,500 rifle, but like $300 for glasses. What do you got in your mind? So today I'm with Brian from Hunter's HD Gold.
Yeah, thank you.
And we met at the PCC Championship. What was that now? 2 months ago?
Yeah,
something like
right
that,
at
6
2
weeks
months
ago.
Yep.
And I've been playing with these. These are the Hunter's HD Gold glasses. They've got them in several styles. The Aviator is more of the wraparound style and all kinds of different colors. You can kind of figure that out. But what really attracted me to the lenses was they're photochromatic, right?
Yep, they are.
And I'll let you talk a little bit about the technical hoo-ha about it. But
well, wonderful. Well, the way Hunter's HD Gold got started is we started, what we do on a daily basis is make eyeglasses for ophthalmologists and optometrists. So we're a wholesale optical lab. So my wife's mother started this company back in 1977. So we've been making eyeglasses for 40 years now. So about 3.5 years ago, I was talking to my wife and I said, there's all this great technology out there that doctors have and that that's available to people at that level, but how come they're not, there's nothing available for the shooters and the hunters? And she said, well, it's available, they just don't, they don't sell it and don't know where they put all the technologies together. Yeah. So what I did, I said, well, let me put some stuff together in-house that we can do everything in-house and come up with a solution for the hunting and shooting advantage for the shooter. And we did that. And every lens, you've heard of plastic lenses, you've heard of polycarbonate lenses. Totally. Every lens we have starts as Trivex. It's lighter and stronger than polycarbonate. It actually allows 43% more light to transmit through the lens than polycarbonate. And this is how every one of Hunter's HD Gold gets started. A lens just like this, a blank. And 17 people actually touch each lens before it goes into the frame. So with allowing more light to come to the eye, well, it gave us a lot of responsibility. So with that responsibility, we block 100% blue light like you're talking about. And that's done with the photochromic process. The blank and the Trivex alone blocks a lot of UV properties. And also with the dye that we chose. We actually chose a medical dye to start off with our golden yellow color. And it actually, when there's low light situations, it actually tricks the eye to recreate daylight. So it actually, allows the melatonin not to produce in the eye, through that process.
Which is a huge mood enhancer throughout the day. Because like now I will admit I'm not 100% using these for shooting yet.
Correct.
I am using them for a lot of other things in my daily life. Like when I'm out working on the range doing these videos and stuff, I'm constantly going back and forth between guns and monitors and all that kind of stuff. And where I found for my life, that's where they really, really shine for me. But the really upside for me is and my audience is going to start learning more about this as we start getting into this kind of like biohacking conversation inside of competition shooting, is that there's a mood element to your lenses. And so for those of you who are always switching back and forth and you put your smoke grays in for a heavy day and you wonder why you're all like feeling like you're like a zombie after an hour of that, is because your brain is shutting down things that because it's like, hey, it's time to go to bed, and we'll start shutting things down and you wonder why you feel sluggish after a big meal and you throw your gray glasses on. Is because frankly your body is shutting down to go to bed. Right.
And that's what we did with the photochromic. So when they start off at this state with no sunlight like we're in now, then when you go out, they actually change. So they go into a light gold color to a golden brown color. So they're always changing throughout the day, so you don't have to change your actual lenses.
So I started out, like before I met you, I was just getting into this idea of blue blocking and using red glasses at night and some of these other things that I do, which, you don't need to do this unless you want to improve your sleep by 10 or 15%, but that's just me. So, but I was wearing a lot of dark sunglasses all the time. In fact, I've got a little bit of a sunglass issue, if I'm being entirely honest. And so when I first started wearing these on the range, like that first day we were here at the PCC Championship, my eyes got a little fatigued because they were dealing with a lot more light. Now, after I kind of got smart that one of my issues with the reason I always want to take a nap in the afternoon is I'm wearing sunglasses all day long. And I didn't get that, so I stopped doing that, and then I started wearing these, and I was noticing I'm not, like, even on a really like bluebird day, I'm not getting that eye fatigue. It does, there is some training I'm gonna venture a guess that it has something to do with, like, I'm kind of always constantly constricted a little bit, and now I'm opening up, and I'm just kind of reviving all those
That's
there's
correct.
neurons and
That's correct. With all the blue blocking technologies, with all the UVA and UVB,
Yep.
block it at 100%,
Yep.
they're actually healthy for your eyes.
Really,
and
yeah.
that's the biggest difference about it. So you will not have eye fatigue at the end of the day.
Yep.
And when you, just like when you first put them on, it's like, well, there's a lot of light.
Whoa.
But I said, just relax.
Yeah.
This healthy light that's getting to your eyes, your eyes will adjust, because I know you're used to wearing dark, sunglasses. I said,
Totally.
once you adjust to them, you won't want to go back.
Well, that's the thing, is once you get rid of the smoke glasses, and I'm going to make a pretty bold comparison against like the Tombstone. They do have a lovely lens.
It's a great shooting lens.
It's a really great lens.
It is.
And that was made by shooting guys. I'll be honest with you though, I find them to be just fugly. But when you get down to the performance level, we're talking about having more visual. I mean, look, guys, the thing is however hot your rifle might be, the only thing that really matters is your trigger and maybe your handguard, because the rest of it is just hardware between there. Yeah, you want, as long as it's working, all things being equal. But really, your interface with your gun is far more from your glasses, and then we've got your ears to deal with, which we'll be talking about in other episodes. But picking great glass, I think, is, it's like I almost would recommend it way earlier in the process than most people do.
And it's a process where that's why when we go to these matches all throughout the United States, we do demo days.
Yeah,
because you're looking at a brand new product on the market, and when you're talking the price point we're at, it's like, whoa.
Yeah,
I'm used to buying something
the
$6
price
off the
point's
shelf.
what?
They're $369
Okay,
usually,
all right.
with or without a prescription.
Okay.
And when I go to matches like this, I do the non-prescriptions at a very show price. It saves a lot of money.
That's great. Well, that's one thing is and the other thing, we're all about promoting like growing the sport, right? And so a big part of that is you got to be here.
Yep.
There's one thing a lot of these big companies or mid-sized and even small companies, they just don't get that, like, you really got to come out here and show that you're here. And how many events did you go to before people started really showing up to say, hey?
Right. This is my 20th match this year at the 2018 World Rimfire Championship.
Okay,
I've got 4 more to go this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first 2 matches of the year, it's like, who are you?
Yeah, right.
But now it's like we've got like a cult following and a family that we
Well,
developed
here-
and met, and it's been awesome.
So at the PCC match, there were a handful of guys there that were wearing them. But
Right.
here at the Rimfire Championship, so my marketing firm, the Syndicate, is down here doing some media for the event. So I took this opportunity to meet with you and do an interview.
Exactly.
But I think everyone here is wearing it. I mean, it's very close.
It's 60 to 70% of the people. I think every squad is represented with somebody
I
wearing them,
believe they call that
which
market
is
penetration.
great. It's very humbling and very overwhelming what's happened to the brand
That's
this year,
really
and I'm
great.
excited about already scheduling that for 2019 and what we're going to do different then. So
Well,
it's going to
let's
be
talk
fun.
a little bit about the custom side of this. So we've got all these things, and I'll get some pictures and fly them in so people can see some of the designs you currently have. This was the one other area where I struggle a little bit because I haven't found a frame. These are pretty good,
Right.
but I haven't found a frame that I absolutely adore.
Right.
So what are my options?
Well, your options are right now is these are all OSHA approved safety frames.
Got it.
Now there is nothing, as we both agree, there's nothing sexy about a safety frame.
No, that's true.
And we've had to overcome that, with shooters because there's a lot of vanity that's in the shooting world,
Oh,
and there's
absolutely.
nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
so-
not in PCC at all.
No. Yeah, that was a whole nother ball game there. But they love the lens.
Yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
loves the
The
lens.
lenses
The lens is where everything's
Yeah.
at. But these are all OSHA approved safety
Okay.
frames,
Good.
and each one of the lenses are impact resistance of ANSI standard 2015 standards.
Okay.
What that means to you and me as a shooter is 1/4-inch steel ball, 150 feet per second will not penetrate the lens.
Okay.
We had that tested by a third party, and we've got the certificate to prove it, and we're proud of that.
That's great.
Now, the company that makes our frames for us is a company in New York. So I'm going to New York in January. We're actually going to sit down and we're actually going to design some new safety frames for the future. So they know what I'm doing. They're very aware of what we're wanting to do, and I've got all these different ideas from things. And everybody goes, "You're going to have interchangeable lenses and all this." Well, there's not really there's not interchangeable lenses that are truly Z87 +1 and +2 safety frames.
Yeah.
See, the +2 is for prescriptions.
Okay.
That's the different
got
thing
it.
there.
Well,
so.
and I mean, look, the truth is that it all sounds fine and good to be having all these different lenses, but
Right.
to be honest with you, it's a huge pain in the ass. I mean, it's
Right.
just one less thing. And I don't know about you guys, but my fingers get disgusting, and I'm like touching my lenses, and then my optics are off. So it's like, I mean, your rifle optic starts right here, right? And that's like a big miss. You can have a $1,500 scope, and if you're wearing a set of like $25 beat up sunglasses or something or safety glasses from the store, you're not taking advantage of your $1,500 glass.
No, we like to say you can only shoot as fast as you can see.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So are there, like, let's just say I wanted to send you a set of Wayfarer frames. Could I get?
You can. It's just like what I'm wearing.
Okay, got it.
These are not safety protective eyewear.
Yeah, yep.
This is what we call executive HD gold.
Okay.
So when we go into the custom side of it, we take you frames and we can put the lenses inside of them. But it's I can do that, but I like to get to a point where everybody has tried really to get past what we're doing here.
Yep.
But we make executive HD gold for that. They're not safety protective eyewear.
Yep.
They're the same kind of mechanics of the lens. Everything's made the exact same. It just doesn't have the safety thickness.
Yep.
So they're not ANSI 2015 safety
Well,
frames.
look, for me, like when I'm here working, I'm doing mostly media here. I didn't even bring a firearm to this event. I'm not that concerned about, I don't tell my mom I stand in some sort of dumb spots, but it's all well thought out, Mom. But but I'm just looking for something to keep the brass from catching me in the eye or something like that. And frankly, these lenses are more than tough enough to do that.
They will, and they especially will. But it's one of those things, there's no regulations of the true what is a safety protective eyewear.
No, I know.
So, and that's there's a lot of great shooting lenses out there, but a lot of them are not safety protective eyewear, and that's by OSHA standards, that's where the difference is with Hunter's HD Gold. We take pride in safety, and that's what we're all about.
I mean, this is a premium set of glasses, right? So $400 for premium glasses. I mean, I think the Oakley sets are in the 300 and some or whatever. That is with multiple lenses, but they have their own downsides as well. Especially for me, you got that big bump right there on top of your nose. I'm like constantly, I can't. It's driving me nuts. All right. Well, look. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about some of the nerdy stuff as we go on. But for those of you who are interested, looking for like a photochromatic or a light changing glass that works throughout the day from a company that supports the sport, I would highly recommend taking a look at Hunter's HD Gold. These have been great for me. I'm gonna probably have a set made up that are
wonderful
for what are these doing.
We'll do that
because that would make a lot of sense. But beyond that, there's another piece to this I want to talk a little bit about, which is. So for those of you who maybe like you wind your day down late, like 9, 10 o'clock, you come back from the match, you get on your iPad or whatever, your phone, you're watching your match videos until 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and then you sit in bed and you're like, oh, I can never fall asleep.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, here's what's happening. Your brain's literally not shutting down because it's a deluge of this blue light, which essentially is not a bad thing necessarily. It actually is, but for the sake of this conversation, it's just telling your body it's morning. And so you're not creating the chemicals you need to go to bed. And one thing that these do, which is if you see images of me now working, you'll see me wearing these, either a blue blocking glass, which is clear, or it's got a little tint to it.
Yep.
And at night I wear something, a company called Swannies.
They
make a true dark glass that I wear when I work until 10 or 11 at night. I'm like editing video. Because frankly, I can't sleep after that.
Right. And behind the computer, I wear these as well all day. I'm behind the computer all day if I'm not here or behind my phone. But at work, you'll have no eye fatigue.
Yeah.
So it blocks it from the blue fluorescent lights. It blocks it from the computer screen. Like I said, they're healthy for your eyes.
Yeah. How do these handle like flicker? Because I know some lights will, or some. Have you looked into that at all?
The only way I haven't looked into it specifically, but on the shooting side of it, I learned by going to the Aguila Cup this year that there's a strobe effect that clays do, and this reduces the strobe effect from clay, so that helps there.
Some of the more expensive like computer glasses actually help smooth out the flicker.
Right.
So for those of you who don't know, when you're looking at your screen, it looks like it's stable to you. It looks like it's static. Right. It's not. It's actually cycling.
It's like the old monitors. You can tell that it hurts different and stuff.
So if you take your like iPhone 10 like mine, you jack it up to 120 frames and shoot it in slow mo, you can see it flicking. Right? Okay. And your light bulbs. I mean, there's like most of your life you're being inundated with like seizures basically, but like and the really high-end glasses. I'd be curious to find this out, and I'll put a note in if we get that sorted out.
Wonderful. But, I'd love to see that. I would assume that would take care of that because it takes care of that should not be a problem at all.
Because once you drop the blue light out, you get less of an effect of that. But, so I found these to be really comfortable for that. And then the other one for me was driving.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not 20 or 30. I'm not even 40 anymore. And at night, and like I don't shoot indoors much anymore because I'll be totally honest with you, it's not fun for me. Red dot's not a problem, but like if I bring up my Atlas pistol, it takes a second for my eyes to adjust, so I don't really enjoy it. So I'm starting to deal with some of that, like work until 10 somewhere and driving home, and like the lights are just you get a little glare, and I don't adjust quickly between dark and bright streets and that kind of stuff. And I did find these to be a remarkable smoothing of that.
I've had a lot of shooters actually wear these when they get in the car when the match is over late at night and actually drive with them. They actually call me to get a pair made that's custom for their driving. Yeah, so we've had a lot of people buy a pair.
I share
for
these with my brother. He's a police officer, which is where my set is right now, and he's like, "You'll never get these back." He's got my Walter PPS M2 and my glasses.
Yeah, I've got a lot.
Grand worth of stuff.
I've got a lot of law enforcement people that are wearing them throughout the United States from 5 o'clock at night till 5 o'clock in the morning. So
really great.
they do real good for that. And when we did our testing a long time ago, we tested them out with game wardens, and they love them still today for obvious reasons. So they get to see a lot more in the early mornings.
Well, check out Hunter's HD Gold, and of course, so you guys got Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff.
Yes.
So we'll run in links right about there, and then of course all the Hawkeye family of stuff. So we are renaming the marketing company the Syndicate, but Hawkeye Ignite and Hawkeye Ordnance will stay all the same, and you can get those the Facebook and the Instagram down here on the bottom. Hope you guys are well and having a great had a great summer. We're gonna have a whole bunch of videos this winter, all a little on the nerdy side, which I like.
It's all good.
And you know, because we've done all the guns. The guns are all good, guys. That's just what it is. And we're going to talk about some of the things that make your day, make your performance better this winter. So look forward to seeing you soon.
Hey, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.